Yes, brothers, welcome to today's video. Nature is medicine. If you followed me for even a day, you've probably heard me say hundreds of thousands of times, get outside, get in the sun, touch grass, swim in wild water, walk barefoot, all that kind of stuff. But nature, this isn't just nice to have. This is literal medicine for you every single day. And honestly, I credit my physique, my health, my energy, and just my overall mental clarity to the time I spend outside every single day. Whether it's walking my dog at sunrise, training shirtless in the sun, or even going into just a natural spring, it really regulates me, and it's helped me through some of my darker chapters, sparked some of my best ideas, and really helps me speed up recovery from training, and really grounded me when I felt like things have kind of gone off track a little bit. So really, essentially, it just reminds me of how good life really is and how simple the formula can actually be. So this presentation is more of a reminder to just get out in nature. It's a wake-up call to really connect us with the source. And we were never really built for a cage. You'll never really feel alive when you're just boxed in. The body was forged under the sun, and not in these blue light offices all the time, not under fluorescent lights, not scrolling for hours on end with your spine like an absolute shrimp. We were meant to be wild. We're meant to be grounded, moving, breathing in this real air, soaking in the sunlight, walking barefoot on the ground. And a lot of men today, they've just been caged, mentally and physically, sitting all day long, stimulated by pixels, and that's not life, man. And they wonder why they feel numb all the time. But the truth is, this isn't peace. This is just this sort of sedation, and you're not supposed to feel calm like this because you're just distracted. You're supposed to feel calm because you're connected. And if you want the real clarity, you want the real energy, then you need to stop living like a zoo animal. You need to get back in nature, reclaim that masculine edge. And really, nature is this natural antidote. So you just need to get back in it as much as you can. Your body was built for the wild. Here you've got a picture of me and my bro here in Madeira. This was a recent trip. It was absolutely epic. But your body wasn't designed for the blue light dungeon that you're in all the time. It was built for being out and about in nature, having an amazing time. You're not supposed to be scrolling on your phone for 10 hours a day. Your physiology, your hormones, your nervous system, and even your mitochondria, they evolved to thrive under the sky. You were meant to rise with the sun, feeling wind on your face, and taking some real deep breaths out in nature, not this shallow mouth breathing desk posture. You want to be out in real air, real terrain. And when I was out in Madeira recently with my brother James, up in the cliffs, high above the ocean, it really hit me, the feeling of freedom every single day, of lightness, of this primal masculine power, like something ancient had just been reawakened. So we hiked every single day, we got sun, we had a good laugh, we lived, and to be fair, it wasn't that sunny, it was actually raining for a lot of the time, but that's not the point. We're out loads, and that's really what a man needs. Not just work and Wi-Fi, but nature, this solitude, the wildness, because most men, they're fragmented because they've been pulled too far from the elements. But when you take a step back, you reconnect, it's like your soul is just plugged in again. So make it a daily non-negotiable. Walking daily, getting as much sunlight as you can, touching trees, hug them, talk to them if you need to be, and breathe in the fresh air, because your biology really remembers, and it's just waiting for you to come home. So get out there as much as you can. Nature heals because it aligns with the soul. And here's what a lot of guys don't realize is that nature doesn't just look aesthetic. It literally restores you on a biological and spiritual level. So every time I take a step outside, especially in silence, you get this automatic energy shift, and the noise just quiets. My breath deepens, my mind just unclenches, And I've had some of my best ideas just walking around shirtless through the woods or just lying in a field after a hard lift. I've literally signed up clients. I've signed up high ticket clients on walks, no funnel, no laptop, just me being present in the sunlight, looking jacked. And most people can feel your energy when you're grounded as well. When you're outside, your nervous system gets the memo that you're actually safe. And on top of that as well, sunlight, it will spike your dopamine, it'll spike your testosterone, nitric oxide, you get better vascularity. Vascularity? Yeah, vascularity. I think that's how you say it. And suddenly your energy isn't anxious anymore, it's more directed. So on top of that as well, your gut calms down. You start digesting things better. Digest life better, literally and metaphorically. And that's what nature does, right? It puts you back in that rhythm with truth. No blue light, no stimulation, just you, your breath, and the reminder that being a man is meant to feel calm. It's meant to feel strong and inspired. So if you're feeling foggy, anxious, or unmotivated recently, get yourself out in that mountain and get outside, and you will literally feel like a new man. It's literally such a simple fix. Nature regulates your nervous system, as I just briefly mentioned. So when I say nature is medicine, this is literally what I mean, bro. Most men are stuck in this fight or flight mode, with emails, with blue light, arguments with the girlfriend, stimulants all day long, stimulants on the weekend, and always getting these dopamine hits from social media. And you're constantly overclocking your nervous system and wondering why you're exhausted all the time, why you're foggy. And it's kind of like this wired but tired mentality. But nature, it will literally just pull you out of that cycle. See this guy here? You can literally feel it through this image. Touching barefoot, literally calming the electrical activity in the brain. And the sun then also resets your circadian rhythm, so you actually start sleeping properly. And the sound of the wind in the trees, things like that, a river flowing. This is scientifically proven to lower cortisol and heart rate. I mean, I don't need to tell you it's science, like go out there and try it for yourself. This is why we get into nature daily, even if it is literally 30 minutes to come back sharper, more relaxed, more composed. It just resets your entire system. And once you're in that sort of natural baseline state, you feel calm, you feel powerful, and it puts you into that state of presence. So especially like today before this video, I've been out for a walk. I'm getting myself in the headspace to be able to talk to you guys and feel super present. And if you want to actually win at business, you want to win with your relationships and your training as well, then you need to have this, you need to have this regulated nervous system. And the most primal way to get there, surprise, surprise, is to get out in nature every single day. Nature doesn't just calm the body, it actually strengthens it. So modern life is designed, unfortunately, to make you soft. Comfy chairs, comfy lifestyle, artificial light, not much challenge. We're barely challenging ourselves these days. And it's no wonder that a lot of guys are just stiff and inflamed by the time they've even got to 30, right? So this is where the really training, the grounding begins by actually throwing yourself outside with training as well. So uneven terrain, that will train your ankles, your knees, your hips, the whole kinetic chain. Things like climbing rocks, walking barefoot. If you can get some barefoot shoes, then get some of those. They're an absolute game changer. Things like going into natural springs, it just forces your body to adapt, to become resilient again. The sunlight as well, of course, is I always talk about this on every slide, but it's so important for every metric of your health. But it also gives your bones the density that they actually need. And then combine that, you get the fresh air that comes into your lungs. You also get the microbial exposure. So in nature, it will strengthen your immune system. And this is literal biological strength, bro. Not just gym strength, but the kind of vitality that your ancestors actually had before us. So this kind of strength This is what will make you feel so alive. And that's why you'll see me a lot of the time, like walking on these long hikes on the weekend, swimming in natural springs, walking miles barefoot as well. It's not just for show, it's because this way of training actually makes you train differently. And yeah, this, if you're not doing it yet, get yourself outside. I equate a lot of my success in bodybuilding to the amount of time I've actually spent outside. The soul connection. So this one hits different. You can lift heavy, you can make money, you can look jacked, but if your soul is malnourished, you're still going to feel lost. And that nature really reconnects you to God, to something bigger than yourself, to the stillness that really cuts through the noise. If you stand in a forest, for example, or a beach or whatever, with no Wi-Fi, no mirrors, no validation, it's just you, it's just your breath and the sound of the wind, and in all that stillness your soul starts speaking to you. And this is why I'm always going on about long walks and silence. I literally did a story on this yesterday. I go out with no phone a lot of the time. There's really no distractions, and when the world really quiets down, sometimes then all the answers start to rise up. I've had some of my best business ideas, creative sparks, deep realizations, all from just being still in the world. So if you want to be a grounded man, spend time in nature without trying to get something from it. The modern man's disconnection. This is the dark side of modern day living. We traded things like sunlight for screens, movement for chairs, and real food for these BS seed oils that I keep talking about, but for very good measure. And now men are walking around completely overstimulated. They're undernourished, and a lot of people are deeply lost, bro. You're not broken either. You're not disconnected. It's just a matter of you're disconnected from nature, from your body, from these primal instincts, from the old ways. But brother, we weren't meant to live in boxes. This is the thing. We're not supposed to be arguing online, scrolling through social media all the time. We were meant to hunt, to move, to build, to walk around barefoot, to feel the sun on the body, to sit in silence, feel bored. It's okay to be bored some of the time. That's where some of our ideas can spark from. It's a natural human feeling. Instead, you're absolutely gaslit into thinking that you're lazy or unmotivated. And the truth is, your biology is screaming for reconnection. And if you want to restore your testosterone, clear your mind, or even reclaim that fire, you don't need more hacks. All you need is just to unplug from this matrix, get yourself outside. This isn't rocket science. This is literally just human biology. And when you start doing this, you'll start winning. Become alive again. If you want to feel alive again, train like an animal. Get yourself out in cold water and lakes. Walk around barefoot, touch the earth, climb a tree like a madman if you need to. Stop living like this sort of caged lab rat and just start moving like an absolute beast again. Your nervous system doesn't need all these extra productivity hacks. It just needs some challenge. It needs to get in cold water, some stillness, adventure, simplicity. And this is how you cleanse that modern world out of your bones. So essentially, this is going to bring you back to who you are. And I do this all the time. I'll be out with my shirt off as much as possible. I'll train outside as much as possible. I have a pull-up bar in my garden. I'll walk through the woods with my dog, start speaking to my dog. And it makes me feel good. It makes me feel clear, calm. And that grounded energy then shows up everywhere, in business, in relationships, in training, because this is how we're supposed to be. It always goes back to nature, how we were supposed to roam, how we were supposed to hunt. And nature heals faster than time. I've had days where I felt like I was kind of spiraling. Too much stimulation, working a lot on my business, too much noise, too many tabs open in my brain. But as soon as I go outside, I'll go out with no phone, as I said, no podcast, no distractions, and just get myself amongst nature. And I swear I can literally feel it immediately. And this doesn't just help you feel better. It literally cleanses you. It empties the mental junk drawer and resets the nervous system at the very deepest level. So this world will tell you to take time to heal, But time in chaos really doesn't do anything. It's the time in stillness that actually works. It's the presence that actually heals. It's the nature, the ancient nature is the most potent form of presence that we can actually have. And this is why I always return to it when I'm anxious or I just feel a bit like pent up energy. I just go walk outside into the hills. And by the time I return, I remember who I am again, right? So most men, they don't need all of these therapy sessions. They just need more exposure to getting outside into the elements. Become an alchemist for beauty. So when you expose yourself to the beauty of nature, something really rewires and your nervous system breathes again. You start to feel again. You stop trying to force these ideas or clarity and you actually start receiving them. I've had some of my literal best ideas, the best business ideas, moments of peace, walking through shirtless through the hills, lying in the sun with no distractions. And really, nature doesn't just heal you. It literally sharpens you. You become an alchemist for this inspiration. You walk back into the world a lot calmer. You feel clearer. Your testosterone increases, especially if you've been out in the sun. And most men are stuck indoors, surrounded by this blue light all the time. Paired that with junk food, all this digital noise on social media, and people are wondering why they actually feel numb and inspired, and they just need to get out in beauty and let the beauty reprogram them. And why modern life cuts you off from all of this. Now, modern life is perfectly designed to disconnect you from your power, unfortunately. Every single day, as I keep going on about, we're bombarded by screens, scrolling timelines, processed food, all this junk information. And it's like a slow, quiet death on your instincts, and you stop feeling, you stop creating, you stop leading. And the worst part is that a lot of men don't even realize this as well. They think that their lack of motivation is just burnout. They think that their brain fog is just normal. And they think that living this half-dead, overstimulated, disconnected state is just how it's supposed to be. But no, bro, it's not normal. You were designed to move, to hunt, to sweat, to sit with the earth, to soak in the sun. And the further you get from that, the more you'll start to rot away. It sounds horrible, but it's true. And this modern life has become just this one big massive distraction. So you need to unplug, reclaim your instincts. So I think we kind of get the message by now. We need to get outside as much as we can. And we need to rewild our nervous system, feel alive again. Most men are running on this autopilot, like this NPC mode, and they're frantic, they're burnt out, and they think they're chasing success, but they're just actually making themselves feel super numb. And it's a lot more simple than you think. As I said earlier in the videos, like just getting out, grounding, sunshine, movement. This is all going to help you feel alive again. This isn't woo-woo either. This is super straightforward. And the message here with this whole video is, again, it is very straightforward, but it's just to reiterate the point. And you'll notice this a lot quicker as well. You'll notice it quickly, like your thoughts will slow down, your breath deepens, you start to like unclench your jaw as well. And this isn't just woo, it's not just like this hippie idea. It's really just for men who want more out of life. So just getting back to your primal ways and watching your life sort of come back online again. Most men try to fix themselves, and they do this by overthinking, they overanalyze, they over-spiral, they try and seek answers in all these new podcasts, trying to look at more content online. But the real clarity really comes from silence. And when you've got no distractions, no pressure to perform, the fragments of your identity begin to merge. So your instincts start waking up, your gut starts to speak louder than your fears. The self-doubt goes out the window, and the truth of who you are begins to rise. And integration doesn't just mean becoming someone new. It means remembering who the fuck you actually are before the world gets their hands on you. So when I'm out in the sun alone, walking alone, shirt off, phone off, I remember exactly why I'm here: to build, to lead, to serve. I'm a man on a mission, and it all clicks again. A lot of these video ideas actually come from just me being outside, and I take notes on my phone and then I deliver the information to you guys. So nature makes that happen every single time. So this is the call to return, right? Here's me in Madeira recently. The modern world is going to rob you of your soul if you let it, okay? So you need to do something different. Nature doesn't judge you for falling off. It doesn't punish you for being lost. It just waits there perfectly for your return. And every walk outside is just a return, an invitation for you to come home, not just to earth, but to yourself again, right? To your body, to your breath, to give you that power. And you don't, yes, like retreats are amazing, but you don't need one. You don't need a retreat. You don't need like a new healing course. A lot of the time, you just need to get out in sunlight, to get cold air, to get barefoot, get your feet on the ground. And you need to remember that you're part of something way bigger than all your problems, right? So this is your call to get yourself outside, come back to yourself, come back to life. And if this video hit with you, or you need someone to have that reminder that needs to get outside, and if you got value from this video, I know it's a very simple message, but it's profound. So smash that like button, drop me a comment if you liked it. I'm pouring my heart into these daily videos. There's going to be no BS, no fluff, just real guidance for men who are looking for that vigor, that purpose, that zest for life. So let's build something big here. Again, if you like the video, drop me a like. Lots of love.